is now trading near that $62.5 per barrel mark, although we have not seen any significant moves over the last 2 to 3 odd trading sessions, especially after the OPEC Plus announcement and gone ahead and paused production hike for the first quarter of next calendar year. All eyes, of course, will be on Russia-Ukraine war, and in any kind of developments that come in from that will be weighing heavy on the global oil market, because if a peace deal is signed, then we could see rising supply of oil in the global market. Meanwhile, shifting focus to gold, then it is now trading near that $4,200 per ounce mark. All eyes are on Federal Reserve outcome next week, and most analysts are penciling in a rate cut. So any kind of commentary that comes in from Federal Reserve officials will also be keenly awaited. But for now, gold is trading and hovering near that $4,200 per ounce mark. But apart from oil and gold, which other commodities are in focus and what are the factors driving the move? Kanishka is now joining us to take us through all those details.
Good afternoon, Ashesha. Yes, today we are putting the spotlight on palm oil as well as soybean. First, let's talk about what's happening with palm oil. Now, Malaysian stockpiles, they've surged 10% in November. That's to a 6-year high of 2.71 million tons. Exports, meanwhile, have slumped nearly 15%. That's after post-festive demand from India has cooled down. Production has also eased to 2.9%. However, it still remains relatively high after we saw a jump in the month of October. Demand, on the other hand, that remains weak, with traders now calling it lethargic. So we are seeing a mismatch in terms of supply and demand. We have a high supply, whereas demand, that has become weak right now. However, if you talk about the price moves today, it's largely decent. About a 1.5% uptick is what we saw. 4,160 ringgit per ton is where the palm oil futures were. So yes, price moves so far are decent. But yes, we are facing a mismatch between demand and supply as far as palm oil is concerned. Now, talking about soybean. Now, China has resumed buying after the recent trade pact that it had with the US. Now, 6 US Gulf vessels, they are preparing to ship 320,000 tons to China in the coming weeks. So that's on the annual. Other than that, the actual purchases, however, they are so far only 2.25 million tons to be precise. That's far less than the commitment of 12 million tons which China had committed to the US. Now, US is pushing China to speed up the process of buying soybean. As far as the price is concerned, it was last up about 0.4%. That's at $1,129 per ton. So yes, that's how those are some of the other commodities that are in focus: palm oil as well as soybean.
And palm oil continue to remain in focus. Kanishka, thanks so much for joining us with all those details. But shifting